Hello, welcome to another 15 minutes of tangling. So yesterday we just about wrapped up this punzel pattern here, and today I would like to start a pattern on the opposite side of the page, right here in this section. And I want to treat this section almost as if it were its own Zentangle tile. So I'm going to begin by laying down a string. And this string is going to be a series of concentric circles, relatively concentric. Obviously I'm not using a compass to make sure that they all have the same center, but you get the idea. Concentric-ish, circle-ish shapes. We're not going to have anyone over here questioning our geometry understanding today. So I've got my string down, and I'm going to start using my black pen. And this pattern, I am not quite sure how to pronounce this pattern. Niuroda is my attempt at pronouncing this pattern. And around this first circle, I'm going to put a series of, in the step out it looked like C shapes, but I've also seen people do it in sort of this sort of more scalloped way. And I just want to note, as I'm beginning this first circle, that I'm starting to the left and moving my pen towards the right and down. We're going to want to remember that direction because on the next circle we're going to want to go in the opposite direction. And just sort of connect that last one. Alright, so in this circle we started in the left and moved towards the right. So in the next, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to start to the right and move towards the left. Now how wide you put these shapes is up to you, or like how far around this tail goes is up to you. It all sort of, all those little decisions create the nuance for your particular drawing of this pattern. Makes each one a little bit more individual. So today I'm sitting right by the art museum where I intended to sit a few nights back. So I'm finally here behind the art museum, and the birds are quite active right now. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that. Also, on the way here, I discovered a new area, a new garden that has both many native plants and a collection of blueberry bushes. So it was a really nice discovery, and I'll put some of the pictures up of the beautiful flowers I was able to find on the way here. I really sort of love these searches for beauty every day. Helps me to maintain a positive attitude about life and have that idea of trying to deliberately look for the beauty in the world, especially in a time when we're facing a few difficulties. Alright, so we started to the right and moved to the left. So in this case we're going to do the opposite. Start to the left and move to the right. So this pattern is found in the Madame Renaissance book. I also noticed that there are, I think Eni Oken has put out some tutorials on how to use this pattern and fun ways to shade it. So if this is a pattern that you find interesting, there are definitely further explorations for this pattern. I think later I'm going to go and in this space put a border. So for now I'm going to make pretend and go behind that border. Seems like there's also, we're sort of in the flight path for the UVA hospital, so we might be hearing quite a few helicopters. Ooh, this is really extended. Oh, how interesting. You see how these are extended compared to the initial ones. I kind of like that. It makes the pattern a little bit more dynamic. Like it has some movement, some personality to it. It's not all uniform. I like that. I'm just going to start this line in here and extend it right back. Cool. Alright, so we just have a little bit more on the outside. So we started to the left, curved to the right. So in this little space here, we'll start to the right and curve to the left. And again, I'm just going to let, in whatever gap I have, let that curve happen. And then all the way back around. Okay, it's a pretty good place to start. So I saw folks both in the Madame Renaissance book and when I searched this pattern online, I saw folks add these bump outs similar to the way we would when we're drawing diva dance. So adding weight in certain spaces on these lines that are going around. I might come through and do that with both my black and my brown at one point. I really like that in the Madame Renaissance book she alternated the black and brown. But to be honest, I got so into the pattern that I forgot. But it turns out okay either way. I also saw some folks who not only added these bump outs, but they also would add in an aura like that. Oh, sorry, you can't see. I'm really not doing well with this today. I apologize. Maybe a few more. Maybe one right here. A little larger. So some people online would add the bump out and an aura around the bump out. And that gave some really interesting dimension as well. I think I'll do a few in brown, and then I might also want to consider adding some orbs here and there. Maybe right up here. Again, it's a fun pattern to draw, just the basic pattern, but then you can also embellish using these bump outs or adding orbs or doing some intense fancy shading. So similar to Punzel, we get to really sort of play around with what this one looks like by adding embellishments. Okay, I think I'm gonna add some orbs on this, and then I'll be done with this round. Now with my orbs, I want them to sort of redefine the line a little bit. So sort of push out the boundaries a little, as if the boundary doesn't really hold it in all the way. And then I'll ink in any sort of interstice. Yep, I think I'll do a few more of those. I like it. Maybe some little ones right here. Let the orb sort of bump out a little bit. Just slightly overhanging those lines. When I went to my CZT training, Rick showed us how to do sort of these overhanging orbs when we were drawing Perk. And it really helped add some dimension. I think I'll ink in the rest of this one. I think one more, maybe right here. There we go. That feels good. I wonder if I want just something else right here. I think I'll put some orbs right there, and then I will be finished with this round. Oh, there goes that bird that chitters a lot. I'm not sure what that bird is. To look it up. And today, while it's been a little warmer than it has in the past, it's still been a beautiful day. There was just a slight breeze that was coming through my apartment as I was working on my writing. And now it's towards the evening time, so it's starting to get cooler. I think I'll add on the inside one or two of these little bumps. Maybe an orb here or there. Just to keep the pattern going. No, I don't. This one, I want it to connect better with that line there. Looks a little weird. Okay, let's see about doing some embellishments to that next round. All right, we're going to go ahead and leave it there today. That's our 15 minutes of tangling. So tomorrow we'll finish up these embellishments and hopefully add some shading and highlighting. This is the first time I've ever drawn this pattern, so it's been a fun exploration into a new pattern that I had never experienced before. So I'm excited to see how it all turns out. Thank you so much for joining me today and following me along during this this fun exploration into art and Zentangles. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.